Group contingencies. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. There's sources where you can read more about them if you're interested. These are contingencies for the entire class. So a token system is for one student. A group contingency is for everybody in the class, maybe in the school. And there's three types of these. Independent, which means we individually win or lose. So for example, well, let me run through these with examples. Independent group contingency. Everyone who scores at least 80% on this week's math quiz will get 15 minutes of extra computer time. So you're just competing with yourself. And anyone who meets that criteria gets the bonus. And if you don't meet that criteria, you don't get the bonus, right? That's an independent group contingency. This works for a lot of typically developing students, and in some cases this might be also motivating for a student with autism if it's appropriate to their cognitive language level and their academic setting, where they also want to hit the same target as everybody else and be able to go with everybody else. The second version of a group contingency is called a dependent group contingency. It's presented to one individual or to a small subset of the class. So we're talking about the class here. If Adam scores at least 80% on this week's math quiz, then all of you get 15 minutes of extra computer time. So we call this the hero procedure. Adam gets to be the hero if he meets the criterion. So what's the upside of this? It can be used to facilitate or to encourage positive peer pressure and support, right? Because now we're all invested in Adam's performance, and the students are rah, 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 we're his cheerleaders, we'll help get him ready for the test, right? What's the downside of this procedure? What if Adam doesn't get 80%, right? Now he's no longer the hero, it's boo Adam, right? We worked, we supported you, and you let us down. So you have to be really careful where you use the hero procedure, but when it works, it can work pretty beautifully. And then finally, interdependent group contingencies, presented to the entire group. If everyone scores at least, so it's not independent, right? Not up to each of you, it's all together. If everyone scores at least 80% on this week's math quiz, you'll get 15 minutes of extra computer time. So all members must meet the criterion to get the reward. And again, it capitalizes on group cohesion, positive peer pressure. Okay, we literally are all a team. We need to work together because we earn it or we lose it together. So let's, help the weakest of us in whatever the subject happens to be. There can also be a variation, so group averaging. If the class averages at least 80%, which kind of takes the pressure off those where 80% might not be realistic, right? And if you know it's not realistic, then you would want to do averaging because you wouldn't want to use one of these contingencies to set anyone up for failure. That's not the point. So for group contingencies, strong evidence for behaviors like faster transitions, because everyone's working together to transition, adherence to our class rules, increased attention to the teacher, reduction of problem behaviors like talking out, wandering around the classroom, and increased preparation and assignment completion. If everyone hands in your assignment, group contingency. I was at a school recently where they had this for the entire school. So they changed it from year 1 to year 2. So here's version 1.0. Independent group contingency. Individually earn tickets for pro-social behaviors. So all teachers had sharp tickets, and if they saw any student in their class, hallway, recess, being pro-social, they would say, hey, I like how you're doing that. I like how you're helping your friend holding the door. I like how you're pushing the wheelchair. I like how you're picking up trash. And they could earn a token. Random intermittent reinforcement, right? This is intermittently catching kids being good, which is okay. Ticket in draw on Friday. So if you get a sharp ticket, then on every Friday, there's a draw in front of the whole school, and the more tickets you get, the more chance to win the draw, which is pretty exciting for a lot of kids because you get to win toys, right? But you also have to understand that it's a lottery and not everybody wins. Inconsistent public acknowledgement for the behavior receiving the consequence. One of the downsides is if you won, no one actually necessarily heard why you got your sharp tickets that week. It's just cool that you won. So then they changed it the next year and kind of improved on it by moving from an independent group contingency to a dependent group contingency. So they individually continued to earn tickets for pro-social behavior. The teachers could still issue these for pro-social acts. Each ticket then counted towards a goal of 100. And once they hit 100, then the entire school got a reinforcer altogether. So and there was a big deal in the office. They had a little board put up where they would put the tickets up and everyone could see the rows filling up and students would stop by and check, right? And then they go out and be more pro-social, hoping they get a ticket and be the one to bring them up to the top. And then a nice addition was that there was public acknowledgement of each person in front of the school for each ticket. So once a day, the teacher would read out, "Good job, school. There have been 18 new sharp tickets today, and they went to," and they would read out the name and why they got the ticket, which is pretty reinforcing for the kids sitting in class, hearing their name on the PA system and why they got it. Right? So this was done in an inner city school that had a really challenging demographic to be serving in general, in addition to their students with autism, meeting their needs. And this kind of brought up the morale of the whole school. All right, we're coming to the end here. Thank you for bearing with me. There are some resources here for PBIS Canada, the Journal of Positive Behavior Interventions that really focuses on the application of what we've been talking about in school and community settings. And I thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at any time. Thank you very much.